Hey, what's going on, guys? We have Calvin Sr. right here to my left and Calvin Jr. to the right. Family feud, but they did great business together. So what we're about to do now is going to go into Starbucks, get some coffee so we can talk some numbers. But like we always discuss at 100% Finance, the numbers as well as the deal, right? So what we're about to do in a few moments is go see one of you guys' 6 unit in which they bought with 0% financing. So that's actually a no-no when it comes to real estate investing, because we believe in 100% financing, but they have a strong extra strategy to get that money out the property. So stay tuned, we're about to go take a look. Peace. Hey, now we're here now at the property with these 2 investors right here, Chicago, Illinois. Now this is a beautiful block, very beautiful. Got the tree line, a ton of brick buildings, but outside the beauty, the aesthetics of the neighborhood, there's a lot of challenges with investing out of state. The first challenge we got was just coming here. We got this dude, nosy neighbor out the window. I'm on TV, bro. Right?
What are y'all doing?
What y'all doing, right? That's a challenge, right? And typically when you are an investor and they see you go into the building, the neighbors are curious, like, who is this guy? I don't recognize him.
Yes.
And they always want to ask.
Yep.
And then what do you normally say?
I'm the owner of this building.
And they're like,
okay.
Yeah, right.
The response is a little bit different.
Different response, right?
Yes,
But that's
sir.
just a minor challenge in regard to property management, working with the neighbors and the tenants. But you guys face some other challenges, right?
Yes, yes, for sure.
Okay, well, if you can name a few. So people out there who's watching, like you guys, be able to understand, like, hey, this is a challenge, but hey, we were able to overcome it. So what would you say, Calvin?
For me,
well, CJ.
CJ, Junior, yeah.
Junior.
I think for me, the biggest challenges were 2 main things, was finding the deals and then finding financing for the deals.
And that's typically the challenge, right?
Yeah,
finding the money and finding the deal.
Right. So as an out-of-state investor, you run into a lot of different issues that you necessarily might not run into if you were local. So a lot of banks are very hesitant to work with out-of-state investors because they feel like it's a greater flight risk. But for us, with our strategy, we're looking to buy and hold for a long term. So we have a different strategy. We are able to approach the banks, let them know about our strategy. But we had a couple of different issues. 1, we're out of state. 2, we were inexperienced according to the banks. So we just ran into a bunch of different roadblocks, bunch of people telling us no. I spent over 100 hours on the phone with these different banks, local banks, national banks, bigger banks, and it took me a long time to actually learn how to position our property and our strategy to start even really getting a further conversation out of some of them. So financing was actually kind of my job.
So let me piggyback on that, CJ. So in regards to the financing, I want you guys to listen to this. Being that you couldn't secure the financing, you still acquired this property.
Yes, we did.
How did you do that?
We are 0% financed, the exact opposite of this channel's goals.
No.
So yeah, but
you were able to overcome that challenge.
Right. Well, because with anything, with every challenge, there's a solution, right? So I'm on YouTube a lot, getting as much knowledge as I can, watch a bunch of Juan's channels, bunch of the videos, and one of the other main things that they focused on was your exit strategy. And we felt that we still, even though we were able to buy this property all cash, we had a solid exit strategy in mind. So before we did anything, I'm an accountant, so I wanted to make sure that our money situation was going to be tight, airtight. So even though I wasn't really on board with buying it all cash, we had to get our foot into the door. And to do that, we had to make sure our exit strategy was super strong. We knew we were going to do some rehab work into this building. We had a lot of added value opportunities in here, and that was going to increase our overall property value. So with that, our strategy was to buy it all cash and do a cash out refinance to really be in this property for almost nothing.
And what is that, a cash out refinance?
So cash out refinance, so you own the building outright. You have no other mortgages, you own the building outright. You approach the bank, and the bank is going to be like, all right, well, how much is your building worth now? So they're gonna appraise your building. And a lot of banks, you do about 70% loan to value for cash out refinances. So whatever say your building, appraised for $500,000, they'll give you 70% of that in cash.
Yeah,
and
so it does vary, guys, but it doesn't have to be completely owned free and clear.
Right, free and clear. Yes.
It doesn't have to be completely owned free and clear. You could have a small loan amount on it, but as long as the numbers work.
Yes.
And it depends on where you're investing at.
Well, as you mentioned, but every strategy has a weakness, and I gotta admit, one of the weaknesses of doing all cash, other deals pass by.
Yes.
If we would have had a finance,
all your eggs in one basket.
all our eggs in one basket, and then now we would have had a finance resource and things running into one, we actually have a finance resource that would have changed the game for us. And I can say that in all sincerity because, as he would know, there's all the properties we had to say no to because we had nothing available.
All your money was tied up.
That's right. And if we had a funding source, that would have changed the game. So I also would say, very important, that if you're just even thinking about real estate, get your funding source in place. Particularly if you got enough capital, you don't want to type all your capital in one property because once you get involved with real estate, other opportunities come up as they talk about.
But a lot of you guys should already know that if you watch Juan's channel, because that's one of the first things that he says. Funding should be one of your first goals.
Find the money,
that's right.
then find the deal.
Find
so
the
one
money.
way to find the money, and this is a personal tip for you guys, I always reached out to a mortgage broker instead of a mortgage lender because a lender can only offer you financial products that institution has. For example, if you go to Bank of America, they can only offer you mortgage products that bank offers, and they might not be investor friendly. So I always reach out to a mortgage broker. They might be a tad bit more expensive, but they'll shop around for the best mortgage product that fits your investment needs. So being that you brought this property all cash to overcome that challenge, what are some of the downsides to buying a property all cash?
So some of the first and foremost downside is you're gonna miss out on some other deals because you can't, well, it's interesting, but this building right here, we actually had an opportunity to purchase the sister building because the seller actually owned another property and they were selling it as a unit.
As a portfolio.
As a portfolio, right.
So a portfolio is when you're buying a group of properties all together from one seller, which is great.
Yeah, it's
You're scooping them all up.
You're scooping them all up. You usually be able to negotiate a little bit more since you're buying both of the properties.
You're buying properties in bulk.
And Juan, you mentioned this in a couple of your other videos. Something I'm gonna talk about is how important your team is, because we were dealing with actually a broker that did not have a lot of what's going on, boss? That did not have a lot of experience dealing with commercial properties. So we actually made an offer for both of the buildings. We made an offer for both the buildings, but because she was not really aware of how the process was, she did not submit our offer. And of course, literally, I asked her to make the offer on Wednesday. Thursday came, I followed up with her. Hey, did you make the offer? Oh, I thought I thought we needed to do X, Y, and Z. No, we did not. This building was available. The sister building, which was actually a little bit nicer than this one, was gone. That's why it's so important to build your team.
So let me give you guys an example, right? There might be properties we talked about earlier at Starbucks, a 5-unit for $100,000. We pass certain markets like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the market I invest in. So if I had $100,000 at my disposal, would I rather A, put that whole $100,000 and buying that one 5-unit, or B, say, if I can put just $10,000 down per property and I have $100,000, perhaps I can buy 10 5 units for $100,000. And then you'll also be able to capitalize on the increased appreciation by how you manage the property, forced appreciation, increasing the rents, decreasing expenses, and you'll be able to capitalize by spreading your money across several different properties. Instead of putting all your money into one basket. But guess what, guys? It's lessons learned, right? So now they know what to do moving forward.
Definitely.
My relationships made. Thanks to you, we're going to have that opportunity going forward.
Yes, the amazing RELOC, the real estate line of credit. We've been able to work with Juan, have access to line of credit for real estate. So now we don't really have to wait. If there's an opportunity that we see, boom, we make one phone call. They're going to send out an appraiser, and we're going to have access to that cash to make it off on that property right away. I recommend this program to everybody. Shout out to John at Midwest. Love that guy, John. He's the best. Hopefully you get him. Amazing product.
I gotta just jump on one thing that's really important. You, as a real estate investor, you know one, you gotta show confidence in your ability to close. So even if you have this line of credit, even if you offer a little bit less, I'm telling you, I will be able to close you in 15 days. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put $10,000 down. If I don't close you, they're so good that, hey, even by forfeit, it will be all right because I know I can close, and that changes the type of deals you can make. it impacts everything right away. It does, and we're really glad that we ran into this program.
Yeah, so that's why I always preach. Multifamily is the fastest way to financial freedom, especially if it's coupled with 100% financing. Obtaining an income-producing asset like this pretty butte right here, using little to none of your own money.
Yep.
And if you actually have that mindset where you're an entrepreneur, right, fellas?
Yes.
Where you can acquire an asset without using your own money, to me, that's being a financial genius.
Yes.
And once you learn that skill set, you can wash, rinse, and repeat every single time.
Yes, you can.
Find the money, find the deal. That's all you need to do as a real estate entrepreneur. So that's one challenge, just financing. Now you guys had another challenge, being out-of-state investors.
Yes.
Can you please expound upon that? I asked
finding the deal.
Calvin Sr. right here. Yeah, finding the deal.
One of the biggest problems, right, is finding the deal. That means you need boots on the ground for yourself. You need time to come out and inspect the property, inspect the location. What are you actually buying? What is your goal for the property? Are you going to be a fix and flip? Like I said, our strategy right now is long-term buy and hold. We're talking about 15 years. Yes, don't faint. We're talking about 15 years. So that's our particular strategy, to take advantage of trends that we're going to see, that we believe that's going to happen over the next 10, 15 years. So that's very important to do.
Okay, now another challenge, right? It's probably unspoken, but I've witnessed it. How's the family dynamic?
Senior and junior.
Because you said something earlier about, well, most of the time people talk about the problems that you face when you're investing with family, right?
Yep.
Like, oh, how they did this wrong, or how they ripped me off, blah, blah, blah. But you said, no, what about those people who actually do good business together?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Can you expound upon that a little bit for us?
Well, actually, the most important thing is that we hear so much negativity. There are positive things that happen, and at the end of the day, that family, yes, it's family, but that's still part of the team. You know, we argue, he's my son, but I respect what he has to say. Sometimes I call him knowing what he's going to say, dreading what he has to say, but you know what? If I can't overcome his opposition, then I need to rethink my strategy. So it's very important to have a team in which they're going to have a different perspective than you, because if you're all in one perspective, that causes blind spots.
Yeah, it's been a really amazing experience being able to work with family in this kind of capacity. It's an interesting dynamic. You know, we're very different. Me and my father are very different. Juan actually had a good one. He said, my father's the gas and I'm the brakes. Yeah. So as an accountant, I have kind of a different set of goals and different mindset, different perspective. I say my father likes to throw money at problems. I like to try to pick the money back up and put it in my pocket.
But you need that.
Right.
Otherwise, if he was just gas, what would happen? You would crash.
Yes.
You would crash.
Right. Yeah. And if you would just brakes, you would go nowhere.
Yes. Right.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
So you need that dynamic, right? So you
yes,
need that when investing in properties. So speaking about investing in properties, we're going to take a look at another 6 unit you guys have.
Yes.
So 12 units in total.
Yes.
Right.
In 60 days.
In 60 days.
Yes.
Look
Making moves.
The new property brothers.
That's right.
Property father and son right here.
That's right.
And that's what I love about family too, right? Even though you guys might have your, head banging moments, but you guys are mature enough to say, you know what? I do respect his decision. I respect his decision. And if I'm not able to intelligently articulate another viewpoint that would trump his, you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong.
Yes.
Right.
And
I think that's what it boils down to. Respect. I have to respect the fact that he's going to know some things that I don't know. He has to respect the fact that I'm going to know some things that he doesn't know, or even have a different perspective on some things. And that was being able to overcome that initial barrier, opened up a lot of doors for us, and I think that we've been able to do a lot of great things together just because of that.
And speaking of opening a lot of doors, let's go take a look at some more doors at the next 6 unit. Alright guys, we're back at their second property, and it's so amazing that the two of you closed on this property this week.
Yes,
this
right?
week.
Just this past Thursday, yeah.
Flew in for the closing.
That's right.
Right? Took a look at the property, took a look at your other property, right? So now we're about to go take a look inside so we can show you the ins and outs of multifamily properties in Chicago and get some lessons learned from these two gentlemen, father and son combination, the two Calvins. Let's go ahead and take a look.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So what we're at right now, we're in the basement. Now you might be thinking, why the heck do I want to see another basement? Basements have an important value.
Yes, they do.
You guys, right? You guys are going to actually convert this basement into another unit.
Yes.
And that's what we call value add, meaning let's buy a property that's cash flowing for one, that's a yield play. A property that's already cash flowing, passive income day one of closing. But let's see what we can do to add additional value. So for one, you add more dollars, correct, into your pocket. And for two, improve the value. That's forced appreciation.
Right.
So I'll throw the ball to you guys. Can you please explain to our viewers right now what type of value add you want to add to this basement?
All right. Bob, you want to take this?
Well, actually, what we're going to do, we're going to convert this basement. It's a little bit small, so we can make it into a nice studio that's going to provide rental income. So we're going from zero to an extra $700 right here from this unit, which automatically increases the value of this property.
Excellent, excellent. Now you just closed on this property Thursday, right?
Yep.
Right.
So I understand you didn't get started except buying materials, correct?
Yeah, actually, we want to move. We want to move very fast because time is of the essence, especially locations, everything. Chicago winters are crazy, so we want to get in, get our guys working because people are not really moving in super fast in the wintertime, so we want to do all this work as quickly as possible. We're actually probably going to start with the renovations of the upstairs units so we can get those up to par. They don't really have as much work as this one. This is going to be one of the last things that we touch, but we want to get work on those started, get those guys in. We already purchased the materials. We're going to start work next week. And we've been provided a timeline with our contractors. We feel pretty confident we should be able to get some of those units in, rented out at the increased rate within about 2 to 3 months. So we're looking to make those moves.
Excellent, and that's one of the old adages we live by. The universe loves speed. Soon you get on that property, soon you close on that property, you better immediately get to work and have your team getting to work. So if you had to throw a number for this particular unit, how much would this unit cost?
You're looking at about $20,000.
20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
Because you're creating everything from scratch. We're adding a nice bath. We're going to add a nice bath.
We got to go take a look at that. We have some plans for that.
And then we're also adding a nice kitchen area. So you're doing a whole reframing. So you're creating a whole new unit. The stuff is not really there. So we're starting from scratch. So it's going to be about $20,000.
So let's calculate the cash on cash return. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the yearly cash flow and divide that by the total cost that's involved to see how long will the Calvins will be able to get their cash, the $20,000, returned back to them. So let's do some math. So the way you do that cash out refinance is this. You said about $700 per month in rent. So let's take 700 times 12 months. So they would have gained $8,400 a year divided by, let's say, 20,000 repair costs. That equates to a 42% return on their investment. That is a high return.
It's amazing.
Yes.
Returns that you don't see in the stock market.
No, you don't.
Returns you don't see in any other investment vehicle. But real estate investing, that is beautiful. And the only thing that they're doing is just fixing up a unit that's already here. But this is the kicker. You don't have just one of these units, you have
two of these. And the other one is bigger than this one.
Bigger than this one?
Yeah, bigger than, and it's going to require the same amount of work, and we're going to get even more rent. We expect to get more rent for that one as well.
Tell the bean count to that again. How much was this worth?
Yeah, I mean, it's worth it. When you talk about, your return on investment, it's worth it. So,
and that's the beauty of value add. Acquire a passive income, an asset, income producing asset, but see what you can do, small things that you can do to improve the value. So let's take a look at the other unit. If you got
okay, yeah.
Now, how much rent do you think you can get off this next property?
This one, we're
This is bigger.
good case scenario, $850 for this one.
$850,
for this.
Damn.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that? $850. Now, how much would you think would be the repairs?
This really, honestly, the same amount, 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah, about 20,000, and we're gonna be getting even more rents for that. So, we're talking about a higher cash on cash return, as we just said. So,
Guys, you can't beat that. Father and son duo, killing it in the real estate market, out of state investments.
yeah.
That's beauty, and that's what I love. I love working with friends and family. That's one thing I said with Ryan a few years back. One of my fraternity brothers. We said, you know what? We should have this on a T-shirt. Fire your boss, but hire your friends.
I like that.
That's right.
But you guys say, you know what? Let's take it a step further and just hire a family. Let's
There
go
it
to
is.
business together.
That's right.
We can do it.
And I have to mention, a lot of people don't talk about LeBron James. A lot of people
What
don't
his
know
team?
his friends. He brought them along, and sad to say, a lot of people don't talk about that. He's brought them along because the only way to get experience is to get experience, and he made sure, well, if you want to hire me, yes, you can manage me for a moment, but you have to hire my friends so they can learn the game. Somebody has to teach you the game no matter what you're doing, and that's how it goes, and that's why it's very important.
And you guys are killing in the game.
Doing our best.
I understand you guys might have had some pitfalls in regards to the financing, but you still made it happen, and you're still thinking about how you can add additional value to this property.
That's
You're
right.
talking about, but that's why you always have plan B. We did have a plan A, but as I told myself, we always prepare for the worst. What will be our plan if this happened? What will be our plan? And we're fighting among ourselves what we're going to do. But once the solution is made, when a crisis comes, you're not trying to figure out what to do at that moment.
Because you already planned for that.
We already planned for that, and that's what's always important. What are you going to do if things go wrong? And we had a plan, like for this building, for the other building, this building, we have every contingency ready for how bad it can get.
Yeah.
And that's one of the adages I love to listen to about the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire. So let me ask you guys this question. Do you know the difference, besides the opposite? Zeros, right?
Zeros.
But do you know the main difference maker between a millionaire and a billionaire?
I don't. Tell me.
I don't.
Billionaires have backup plans.
Yes.
Backup
Good.
plans.
Backup
That's
plans.
what you do.
So when you're starting out in real estate investing, of course you're going to face challenges. Of course the financing may fall through the cracks. Of course even your partner may back out of the deal last minute.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you got to be that person that says, you know what? I have a plan B. I have a backup plan just in case things don't work out exactly as planned.
Correct.
Because that's life. If life was so linear, it'd be boring.
Yes.
Who wants to just go to a straight line from your starting point to success? That'd be lame.
Yes, it would
Right?
be.
You want to add some spice to life, right?
That's- variety
going
is
this
the
way,
spice of life,
right?
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
By going this way and say, dude, oh man, I got stuck with financing. Okay, let me go this way. Dude, oh man, I got stuck with the build out because the permits, they wouldn't allow me to turn this into this for argument's sake. But it's amazing to go from one step to the next, but you'll realize even though it wasn't linear, I was still able to make it to that final destination, which in your case would be financial freedom.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this. It's directed to our viewers out there, right? Who are just getting started. They want to invest in multifamily. Like you guys might say, hey, well, my market is oversaturated. I need to explore other emerging markets. What piece of advice do you have to that person getting started in multifamily? Out of state.
I would say connections are everything. So when a big part of how we were able to kind of start off was we went on a real estate forum, biggerpockets.com. We networked with some people. We found some real estate brokers out
Holla
here.
at us, Bigger Pockets. Holla at 100% Finance.
Yeah. So, and we were able to use those forums to make some connections that we didn't actually have. And then, you'd be surprised what actually your friends and family are already doing. Like I had a connection that I knew back from when I was 10 years old that is actually doing some fix and flips out in Chicago. I was able to make that connection, and he's actually doing some work with us now. So networking is everything, because when you're out of state, you need somebody that's going to be boots on the ground for you, able to look at these buildings. They're going to have some connection that you won't naturally have. So connections.
Yeah.
Okay, now to your question, now that's Junior. I want to ask you a different question, but similar. Now he spoke about multifamily out of state. Now I want you to talk about multifamily financing. What piece of advice do you have for that person who's getting stuck?
To actually contact you immediately. I mean that. That's not a shameless plug. Financing makes a difference. I'm saying again, if we would have made this connection with you, with your product and services, we would literally have 4 or 5 properties right now.
Right
Because
now.
as you know, we bought all this all cash. That was also our plan B to force our way into this market. Okay, we have to buy cash, we will, but that's not maximizing your dollars as you're talking about. So you really need to get involved with his program. If you have credit problems, let them work with you, because there's things you can do so you can maximize the dollars that you have. And that was our weakness. Every plan has a weakness, and it's again, we were not able to maximize our dollars, but the plus, we're in. And we met Juan, and now we're going to be able to do bigger and better things now.
Thank you. And Jerry Maguire, the movie, said it best. Show
me the money.
Show me the money.
That's all you need.
Show me the
If
money.
you can show these real estate agents that you have the money,
Yes.
guess what? They'll
work with you.
They'll
Yeah.
work with you.
Deals,
Yeah.
more
Right?
deals, yes.
And when you have the money, many other investors will want to partner with you. So if you're interested in finding that money, reach out. 100finance.com. All right, guys, so that's the end of our video. Congrats.
Thank you, sir.
Calvin
Thank you.
Jr., Calvin
Thank you.
Sr.,
It's a
I
pleasure.
greatly appreciate the time you spent with us today.
Yeah.
And I really am happy for you guys.
Thank you.
It's impressive. All right? So as always, guys, to your success, continue to earn passively, live passionately. Peace.
Thanks.
Peace.
Peace. Hello, I'm Calvin Sr.
And I'm Calvin Jr.
We want to thank Juan, first of all, for providing for the financing that we're going to need to actually grow our wealth. What actually got us started in real estate is that I'm a certified financial planner, registered investment advisor, IRS enrolled agent. I've been involved in the financial field for over 20 plus years. And when I finally put everything together, I recognized real estate was the way to go. And this is a great opportunity to grow wealth and to save taxes. You need to take advantage of the tax opportunities afforded uniquely by owning and participating in real estate and leveraging your dollars. If you'd like to have a discussion about that, please contact us at ICWP Investments. Thank you.